I'm going to talk to you about entrepreneurship and why it is a lot of people do not start their own businesses and why our industry is truly unique. When you look at what it takes to start a business, most people who start businesses, or at least a huge percentage, they number one, they go into debt. Number two, they take a big risk. They forego health insurance in many cases, or they carry their own at great expense. They go ahead and they gamble that things are going to work out for them, knowing from the start, statistically, they're not in, the odds are not in their favor. So they are risk takers. Most people also go into this and fail several times before succeeding. Little known fact, most entrepreneurs do not hit that home run first time around. It takes multiple at bats to get it right. And therefore, there's a humongous chunk of people. I don't know how big it is. I'm guessing here 60, 70% maybe of would-be entrepreneurs. They don't start businesses not because they're, fearful or lack some skill or none of that. No, they do it because they're responsible. They know that for them, if they have children, if they have, a significant other, if they have people that depend on them, dependents of any kind, if they were to, go and launch their business and fail, it wouldn't be just them crashing and burning. It could be family members crashing and burning. It could be all those loved ones. Other people could get harmed by it. So therefore, they don't start their own businesses. They stay working for someone else. Some of the most talented, educated, smart, bright people that I know are in that situation, have been in that situation. I understand how it is. Starting your own business is a very, very risky endeavor. Now, what a lot of these people do is they look around and they say, well, what could I start part-time? What could I do on the side? They look at things like becoming a realtor, maybe opening, some involving themselves in some MLM, maybe. They look around at different things. The truth is there isn't much there with regards to businesses that you can work on a real part-time basis. Not much. Sales, affiliate marketing, maybe, but there's just not much. Now, that is the major, major benefit of our industry because you can start part-time in the absolute extremist sense of the word and still have it be a viable business, not a hobby. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say that you worked, I don't know, 5 hours a week at your, white label reselling business. If you opened up your own little web shop and you had your website online and you worked marketing and selling 5 hours a week. Hypothetical figure. This is all a hypothetical scenario. I'm not telling you anything that will happen. I'm just going through a scenario. Let's say that you, in your 20 hours of work a month are able to get one sale. Well, let's say that sale is an average priced SEO campaign. And let's make another assumption. Let's say that average price campaign that you sell once a month brings you in $400 profit, right? Okay, make that your gross profit on the deal. Maybe you net 300, right? Let's just assume that you net $300 profit. Well, what that means is in just a few months, you're almost at an extra, 1,000 a month. 4 months down the road, you're $1,200. You're now very viable, right? You're bringing in enough money because these are recurring revenue streams. You're not selling somebody something that's a one-off. Even with website sales, one of the services we have, there's always the hosting charge. You're always adding to your bottom line. And if you keep clients, that bottom line is always growing. So even in the extreme situation where you barely work this thing at all, you barely sell at all, you barely ever do upsells to anybody at all, and you only sell average size deals, and you're just right there in that, bare bones part of the curve, even in that extreme, it's still a viable business, right? Mathematically speaking, this is a profitable business. It's not a hobby. And that's very important because when you look at most businesses, like I said before, this is impossible. Most businesses that are real, most things you can get involved with that are viable, require an enormous investment in time, money, resources, effort, energy, and success is very far from guaranteed. Now, another thing about this business, you can afford to fail in it. It is not game over because you don't land one deal or you go, a month off where you don't sell anybody. There's not this enormous overhead. At most businesses, you open a restaurant, whether you sell out or not, you have to replace that food at the end of the month. It's got to get thrown out. You can't keep produce around, all right? You're going to have to pay that electric bill. You're going to have to pay that rent. You're going to have to pay those staff. You're going to have to keep your chef on. Whether you sell anything or not, you owe. In other words, the overhead is very high, and you must pay that overhead regardless. Now, I'm not saying our program is free, because it's not, but it's a pittance compared to most real businesses. And it is, make no mistake, a real industry that we operate within. Okay? Now, we're not, a business opportunity, all right? We're a subscription service whereby we furnish you with the ability to sell services, and we give you basically the business infrastructure to be able to operate, right? But we don't set you up in business. We're not involved in any of that end of things whatsoever. That's on you. So our partners do their own things. Some of them are LLCs. Some of them are INCs. Some of them operate as, different types of legal entity overseas, LTD in the UK. They do things differently. But a lot of people who get involved will set themselves up with several partners. It'll be 2 or 3 people that get together to form some kind of a legal entity to go and sell white label services. Maybe they do some of the stuff they want to do in-house. Maybe one of them's a designer and they do graphic design at the actual business, but they're taking a whole bunch of our services and they're selling those as well. So our whole model can be infused and integrated into other more dynamic types of business. We don't lay down any rules. This isn't a franchise. You can utilize the resources we provide any way you see fit. That is completely up to you. But we are here to act as that infrastructure provider. You have, when you're in Rocket Driver 3.0, you have basically everything that you need. You have a CRM system. You have the ability to do screen sharing. You have all the services that you can sell. We give you a website that's, that's completely customizable, modifiable, and it's your website, your name. We get you set up with everything you basically need to operate. And because of that, it's a consolidation keeping costs reasonable. If you go and you buy a CRM solution, from, out there off of whatever company, they're charging you per seat usually, or per batch of seats. In other words, you can't put 50 reps on without incurring a major overhead expense. With us, it's unlimited. Put as many people in there as you want. We hope you do. Not only that, we help you put people into the system. You're not left to deal with any technical hurdles, right? We give you all the training. We train your people. We conduct even live training for salespeople. So we go ahead and we go the extra mile. And if you watch the other videos, I did one on managed services. Our services are managed, where we actually go and contact the clients when you make a sale to go through the setup process and implementation of our white label services. We go that far. When it comes to SEO, we actually close deals for you. So we heavily involve ourselves in supportive techniques and supportive facilities to make sure that you're successful. Now, what all this means, stepping back for a moment, to entrepreneurs is that entrepreneurs have a whole lot of options on paper when it comes to launching a business, virtually unlimited. But in reality, they're limited by, the analog real world out there that we all live in, right? There are things that look good in theory, but in practice, they're difficult, if not impossible, to integrate into your life. This is the case with many types of gimmicky online, sell this, sell that, do this, do that, stuff that's out there. When it comes to us, we very much walk the walk and talk the talk. We do it both. And we put together something that's very different than what you're going to find anywhere else. Now, if you want to learn more about what it is we do and want to learn the finer points of all of the stuff that I talk about in the videos here about Rocket Driver 3.0, go on to our website, rocketdriver.com. You can watch a live webinar. You can register to attend, and you can watch a re-recorded webinar and get an idea of exactly what it is these guys are doing and what it is they put together, because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I hope to see you there.